Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Jyoti Pahwa from JCERC Foundation. I'll be talking of words which tend to confuse the learners of second language. At times it so happens that because of the same sound, because of the same spellings, the appropriate usage cannot be understood by the learners. So we'll be taking up words which, as I always have been saying, are entities in themselves. They are never to be taken in isolation. So we'll be taking pair of words which are taken grammatically as homonyms, and then we'll see that how we can learn better and we can engulf ourselves in the enigma of words. For example, this pair of word symbol and symbol. When it comes to pronunciation, the pronunciation is very, very similar. But then when it comes to usage, one is the depiction of something and the other is used to produce music. It's an instrument. So if you can have a pictographical representation, which I also did in the vocabulary enhancement series, that can enhance the learning. So if you understand depiction with the symbol here, that no smoking symbol, and the symbol with the photograph of the instrument, you'll be able to learn better and differentiate better. You can then be taking it as a context-based usage. That symbol is assigned to represent something. Like Swami Vivekananda was a symbol of simplicity and honesty. He's taken as an icon of simplicity. And symbol, which is C-Y-M-B-A-L, is a musical instrument. The melodious sound of the cymbals impressed everybody. So try and understand the word with the picture, and then the meaning, and then immediately the usage to differentiate between the pair of words which are actually homonyms. Let's take another one. Canvas and canvas. Now, there is an additional S in one of the words. One canvas means convincing. The first one, the former canvas, is convincing. If a friend of mine stands in election, is nominated there, I would go and convince other people to vote for him. That is convincing others, canvassing. C-A-N-V-A-S with a single S means a rough cloth. Now when you use in the context, then canvass means to propagate. It is usually observed that the friends and relatives of the contestants canvass for their candidature during elections. And canvas, on the other hand, is a rough cloth. Maybe if I can say that I usually wear canvas shoes while jogging. Let's take another pair for better understanding. One word S-O-A-R, which is usually used with as a pair S-O-R-E. If you take it together, there's hardly any difference in pronunciation. But if used in the context of rising high, moving upwards, then we make use of the word S-O-A-R. Whereas S-O-R-E is for a problem or for a sore throat. Maybe there's a trouble somewhere. So if you use it in the context, soar means to rise high, birds soar high in the sky, and S-O-R-E means which is painful, which gives you trouble. A sore throat must be treated with immediate effect. Well, I hope you all are understanding that how pair of words which sound similar, which are homonyms, are taken with the pictographical representation and the context work better towards understanding. Let's take another example. The word decent, which most of you would be using, but then there's the word descent. There is minute difference in pronunciation. Decent, descent. And at times, people who mispronounce the word tend to make this error while making use of this word. The slide here projected is of a decent lady, Simi Goreval. She appears to be very dignified. She presents herself with poise, so she is a decent person. Whereas descent means coming down, slashing down, or coming downwards. It's a downward journey. When we make use in the context, decent means right, suitable, dignified, and descent means to come down. In the usage, she always wears decent clothes, we can say. So there's a slight difference in pronunciation, decent and descent. Descent of the hill is very dangerous. If you keep it with a picture at the backdrop, you won't be able to forget even if you want to. But otherwise, if you just read it as a pair of words and maybe write it down, as I shared with you earlier also, that some people are visual in nature. some are auditory. So those who are very visual in nature, once they see the picture, the pictographical representation, you would not be able to forget. Let's do another pair for better understanding. Considerable and considerate. Now there are a couple of words which are often open to confusion. We do not understand which word to use in which context. Now if I say considerable, that means it's quite large. It occupies space. But if I say considerate, it means a person who's very compassionate. So the picture here, there's a building which is quite large, you can see, and then the person helping out. The other picture, there's a person helping out the lady, so is compassionate, is considerate towards the other person. Let's see how we can make use of it. Considerable means which is commodious or extensive, which has a lot of space. The considerable size of the building attracted everybody's attention. And on the other hand, the other word which is considerate, that means the other person has some feeling of empathy towards the person whom he or she is helping out. The considerate initiative of helping somebody in need is an introduction of humanity. I think I don't need to tell it to you all know it already. Let's take this pair of words, contemptible and contemptuous. Now if we take in the form of words, both these words are adjectives, contemptible and contemptuous. But one is the kind of appeal which is given to the person who sees it for the first time. If I see something for the first time and which I don't like, then that is contemptible. But then contemptuous is the kind of expression which I have on face which I don't like. If I see something that I don't like and the expression which I have on face, that is contemptuous. So there's a hairline difference between these two words. Contemptible, that means I don't like it. Contemptuous is the expression of contempt which is the reflection of despise. If we use it in context, contemptible is detestable. The image depicted is a contemptible one, which so many things are there in the nose of the person. Contemptuous is a reaction showing contempt, and the usage is also there for you. Let's take this one, petrol and patrol. Now there is a difference of one alphabet, P-E-T-R-O-L and P-A-T-R-O-L. Petrol, we all know it's very expensive because we all have bikes and cars to drive. So petrol is fuel and patrol is the movement by the security people, moving around of the security people to find out, to look for trouble and then find a solution to it. So there is a lot of difference in the application, the meaning, the implementation of the word. Let's see the context. Petrol means petrol is fuel, as you all know. A liter of petrol costs around 75 rupees or 80 rupees, somewhere around that. And patrol means to go around looking for trouble in an area so that it could be solved. The police patrols post midnight in order to provide security. There's a difference in the sound. Petrol, patrol. So this is the kind of pathway, the trajectory I'm leaving for you to experiment with words, to experiment with the pictographical representation. Wish you all the best. With this clue, you can develop other things for your own learning. Wish you all the best. Happy learning. Learn English with a smile.